Hi. Excuse me. Hi, this is George O'Brien. I've been going back and forth about. I really don't want to build another kit. I don't know why I dread the thoughts of going through the process of building another wooden airplane kit. There's a lot of little reasons, but they might not seem very concrete to the average listener or viewer. I've listed them off in previous videos. There's things such as there's really no place to work because it's a one-bedroom, a small apartment, no basement, no workshop. I have to work on the round dining room table. It's not really even a dining room, it's just a dining area off the kitchen. And my wife needs to use that table to do her computer work for a job. So it's difficult to sit up for an entire day, which is about what it takes me to build one of those kits. And I don't feel like it's a very secure place to work as far as things not getting damaged or interfered with. Not that Yvonne would deliberately do that, but it's out in the open that way and exposed. And I don't think moving it under the bed is really a great idea either, because it's likely to get damaged. And I like to keep working on it straight through till it's done, which takes about a whole day for me. And that's part of the agony, is agonizing over the details, and it's for a whole day and getting burned out. And it's so delicate. They're so delicate. They're actually harder to build than the test fixtures I built when I was an engineer. I didn't mind building scratch built so much because I could build it my own way, but following the instructions and doing it to the letter of the instructions is so tedious. I really don't like building kits, to be honest with you. I don't really like anything about the experience. I just felt obligated to, because people are always boasting about how great it is, but I think it's a pain in the ass. I thought I did a few of them, but I don't want to do any more. At least one of them was sticking tissue paper. But I've been hemming and hawing about procuring the electronics that I threw away by either buying Spectrum receivers to go with my hobby Sport Cub S transmitter, which would be too much money. We have to buy all the batteries and prop and motor and everything. And buying a cheap, the other route is to buy a cheap Chinese transmitter receiver pair and buying the prop and motor again, and the battery and the charger, and all that adds up to more than it would cost to buy a Cessna F949 from WL Toys, which you could get for about $50. And it would have all that stuff in it, all that stuff. And when you crash this to smithereens, you could take the stuff out and use it in your Wheelos kit. But even that's more money than we can afford right now. Believe me, our situation is like that. But there's just the added plus of now wanting to go through the process of building a wooden kit again, even if I had the electronics. So I've been going back and forth, and my mind gravitates toward it because it gets bored, but the closer I get to actually getting rolling on it, the more I realize I don't want to do it. So I've got to find other activities to stay occupied with. Maybe play the guitar more or something, but that sort of creates a disturbance. People like to have it quiet around here. And I complained about the neighbors making noise. Not to anybody official, but let's talk to someone on the phone about it. Nobody important, just my mother or somebody. Well, she's important, but I mean nobody from the condos or the condo board or anything. But the people overheard me, I think, because they've been real quiet since then. And I feel bad about that because I didn't mean for them to overhear. So I gotta be quiet too. So the guitars, I don't play through an amp or anything, but in general it's frowned upon. So it's hard to find things to do. I like to have some new hobbies that aren't so technical and finicky and fussy, you know, because I did a lot of that before. I didn't really want to. Just want to be relaxed. Even flying those things makes me nervous. I was thinking maybe flying the 3-channel Cessna F949 might be relaxing, but the problem is it would open up the whole can of worms into the kits again, because then I have the electronics to put in it, and that's a path I don't want to go down. So, you know, they have these transmitter receiver pairs like the FlySky, I think it's called the AI-16 or something like that, and the FrSky and the Hobby King and all these different cheap things that go for less than $25, even less than $15 sometimes. And it's amazing how little it costs, but then when you buy an ESC and the 2 servos and the motor and the gearbox and the prop and the battery and the charger, you know, you're up above $50 again. So it's there's no way. The cheapest way to go is to buy that I know of, is to buy the whole airplane, the F949 airplane, and use it until it's shot and then scavenge the parts off it. But I'm not going to go that route. Like I said, I don't want to open up the whole can of worms. So that's where I left off with, and you know, God willing, I'll be through with this session. I can't help the decision I made to fly the Javelin without the control card in it, but it flew really well, really high, and who knows if it would have even worked with the control surfaces. They weren't moving that well, but they were moving, but the receiver might not have enough torque in its servos. I might have botched up the process of putting the receiver board in the plane, or something like that might have happened where it wouldn't have flown right, and I wouldn't have gotten any flight out of it. So maybe I'm better off that I flew it as a free flight model. That was all I had to do, was put in a receiver board, and I had everything else hooked up. But sometimes even doing something as simple as that can botch things up when you have Parkinson's. But like I said, it may have been better to have flown it the way it did. And when I was going to church a lot, my pastor used to say you need to trust in God more. So if I do that, I can say it's in His hands and He made it work out for the better. So I should stop having these regrets. Regrets can drive you crazy. And that's what's been bothering me. That's why I'm eating so much ice cream and so on and so forth. But I just want to let it go. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Thank you very much. Bye.